Herc, the transfer window is about to close, and it looked like a couple Americans are going to be staying put at their clubs. Let's start with the case of Christian Pulisic. Paul Tenorio in The Athletic reporting that Christian Pulisic will stay this season at Chelsea, despite the fact that there was interest from multiple clubs around the Premier League and around Europe in a loan move for the Chelsea attacker. Your reaction as we find out that Christian Pulisic will indeed, Herc, be staying in blue, at least for now?
As a healthy player, worst case scenario. Because what I mean healthy player is bearing injury, that would be the worst case scenario for Christian Pulisic heading into the World Cup. But being completely physically fit, just not in the plans, is probably the worst thing that could happen to a healthy Christian Pulisic heading into the World Cup, especially a player that feeds off his mental state. A very happy, very content, and healthy Christian Pulisic is a productive Christian Pulisic. But you got to get on the field. That's the only way you can be productive, is by getting on the field. And Christian Pulisic knew that, so much so that he and his camp were looking for a way out.
Yeah, what do you make of the fact that the reporting here from Paul Tenorio in The Athletic is that Chelsea refused permission for Pulisic to seek these loan moves? That makes it seem like a tense situation could only get more tense in the coming months.
What do you want from the... Obviously, he has a market. There's market value for Christian Pulisic. We've heard Manchester United, we've heard Newcastle, we've heard Juventus, we've heard so many different teams. For a player that came to you for upwards of $70+ million in the transfer window. So what you got to do is, if there's a market, is get him out there. And the only way to get him out there is let him go. Let him talk to teams. Let him, his camp, talk to agents, talk to other organizations. By limiting and saying, no, we're not doing that, all you're pretty much saying is be content with the scraps. Be content with your 10 minutes a game. Do something there with that. That's very difficult to do.
Those scraps, Herc, 76 minutes, that's it, across 4 games so far in the Premier League for Christian Pulisic under Thomas Tuchel. How big a worry of it is it then for Greg Berhalter and the U.S. men's national team?
Yeah, you would have assumed, and maybe that did happen, that Greg Berhalter was on a phone with Christian Pulisic, with Christian Pulisic's camp, and even Thomas Tuchel, if that was the case, because he took Thomas Tuchel's advice when Thomas Tuchel said, hey, don't play him too much, he's coming back from injury. So I'm sure Thomas Tuchel would return the favor of answering a phone call and maybe explain the situation, what's going on, what can we work out here for Christian Pulisic to go elsewhere, even if it is a loan, just for him to get minutes for the next 80-something days until the World Cup starts. That's what I would be worried about if I was Greg Berhalter and Christian Pulisic.
All right, so Christian Pulisic wants to leave, but Chelsea won't let him. It's kind of the opposite situation with Barcelona and Sergiño Dest. Barcelona clearly seems to want Sergiño Dest out of town and maybe recoup some money for him. But Sergiño Dest, according to the latest reports, wants to honor his contract, wants to stick it out, stay, and fight for his place at Barcelona. Again, there's only like 48 hours left in the summer transfer window. Herc, what do you think about Dest's positioning here? Do you think he's making a mistake by trying to force his way at Barcelona?
Sergiño Dest is shooting himself in the foot right now. This is a play, a power move you do when you're a well-established veteran in your last contract. You know what? No, pay me my money. Give me my money. I'm going to stay. Just give me my money because I have earned it. Sergiño Dest right now, with the World Cup in November, because that's the tricky thing about these transfers right now, midsummer, is that you still have a World Cup to contend, a World Cup to look forward to, is nowhere near the picture for Barcelona. Xavi's already made that specifically clear. It's more than clear, crystal clear. Right now, all you're saying is, I want to stay. I know I won't play. I know who you have in front of me. He doesn't even play my position. He's a center back. I know I'm not even going to be there in any competition. La Liga, Copa del Rey, whatever you may want, they're not part of it. So if I was Sergiño Dest, I'd just say, cut my losses, leave Barcelona, and go elsewhere. Give myself a fighting chance to do something in the World Cup, to go in sharp, to go in with momentum. But right now, I mean, you might as well be thinking you're a spectator coming until November.
Well, and I wonder, Herc, what the other options are, right? We continued to hear Manchester United. We heard that for a long time since they've been linked to a couple other guys. Thomas Meunier has come to the top of the list, potentially for Eric Ten Hag. Diogo Dalot, who's been playing there a little bit now for Manchester United, seems to have settled into that spot. So maybe Manchester United isn't an option. If you listen to the reporting from Fabrizio Romano, who's usually pretty well on top of things, Herc, it sounds like Sergiño Dest either wants to stay at Barcelona or go to another top club. Is that the problem? Is it actually the level? Is now the time in Sergiño Dest's career for him to drop down a level?
If that's what you got to do, it's what you got to do. It's a World Cup. It's the pinnacle of any player. It's what you want to achieve, what you want to get to, and what you want to do when you get there is play well. Sergiño Dest, his future may not be at Barcelona, but it doesn't mean he can't play himself come November to a bigger club.
So the transfer window closes in La Liga on Thursday. After that, we might have a little more clarity for Sergiño Dest. Maybe, Herc, we could see him on Saturday when Barcelona plays against Sevilla. That one, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, of course, available for you exclusively on ESPN+.